angels and masters, using vibratory energy to connect with, communicate, and download the energy of angels and masters. We're going to start with two little simple science lessons, and I promise to keep them real easy and simple. The first one, resonance. If you have a violin here and a violin here, play the A string here and the A string here will vibrate. Energy transfers on the same frequency, just like it's magic. Entrainment. If you had a clock shop and you had all these different clocks, think of a big grandfather clock going tick tock, and the little one's going tick, 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 tick. In a matter of minutes, all of the clocks will copy the rhythm of the loudest clock, the grandfather clock. So the little ones will shortly be going tick, tick, tick. The stronger vibration overcomes the lesser. And that's the understanding of Hermetic magic maxim, so as above, so below. In that manner, through resonance, when energy transfers on the same frequency or octaves of the frequency. Now, what's the word octave mean? An octave is the same note, C, C. And energy also transfers. So if I had a violin here with a high A and a violin here with a low A, energy would still transfer. And it would transfer to a little lesser degree with each octave. Keeping that in mind, the ancient masters categorized angels and masters according to the rays. An oversimplification would be to call them the color rays. For example, we perceive Saint Germain to represent the violet ray, Archangel Michael, the blue ray. So if you study the cycles per second of frequencies, which you can, in and correlate to them to things and matter as is described in my Secret Sounds Ultimate Healing book and the work of Sherry Edwards at soundhealthoptions.com, you can see that everything has a frequency. The periodic chart of elements is much like a musical scale. Bum, bum, and then the octave levels fill and you jump an octave. Bum, 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 bum. And then the octave level is filled and you jump an octave. Notice that each octave has its own characteristics in matter. In this way, if an angel is a certain frequency, then through octaves, this angel will also resonate, transfer energy with things in your emotional octave, your mental octave, brainwaves have cycles per second, alpha, beta, delta, theta waves, or your physical body. And your bones and more dense things are a little lower pitch. And as the matter gets a little bit less hard, it goes up in octaves. So an angel can influence you with your emotions, with your thoughts, and with every level on your physicality. Sherry Edwards has a chart comparing things in matter and emotions to musical notes. Well, first, to make it simple, think of counting the seconds per cycles per second of colored light and taking it down octaves, same note, just lower. Eventually, it'll come into the range of sound. In that way, you can correlate light, colors with musical notes. One complexity, again, found by Sherry Edwards. She discovered this when she had a contract by the U.S. Department of Defense to come up with a frequency to keep pilots awake. She had just finished her master's degree and was well aware that 40% of the population is right-brained, dominant, 40% is left-brained, dominant, and 20% is whole-brained. She found one note, kept 40% of the pilots awake, put 40% asleep, didn't seem to matter to 20%. The opposite note, or another note, put the other 40% to sleep and kept the other 40% awake. She then correlated this to brainwave frequencies. 40% of the time, people who were right-brained reacted in one manner to a frequency, and people who were left-brained reacted in the opposite manner. If you take the cycles per second of colors and you look at the math underneath, you'll find that complementary colors, red, green, purple, yellow, blue, orange, are like a seesaw. Seesaw. And if you have too much red, for example, you don't have enough green. You have too much green, you don't have enough red. Or let's say the red is 10 cycles per second, green would be 1/10. It kind of undoes it, depending on the volume that you have of each. Given this, when you look through antiquity, you see sometimes someone in antiquity will equate a musical note with green and sometimes with red, depending on which brain hemisphere they were used to using. That is why I believe that science has not confirmed this. Sometimes the frequency correlations are red and sometimes they're green. Also, throughout antiquity, when you go really far back, you see that in legends of Atlantis, they had two different medical systems. One for people who were right hemisphere dominant, and the second medical system was those who were left hemisphere dominant. Sherry Edwards has said that people who are left brain fare better with allopathic medicine or Western typical medicine, whereas those who are right brained tend to fare better with allopathic medicine. She correlates the different types of medicine to how the different hemispheres process frequencies. Anyway, just thought that was kind of cool. Okay, back to the frequencies. At nanovoice.org, you can download Sherry's chart, which shows you everything that has a cycle per second, what your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and things in your body with different cycles per second and colors. And also, that chart is included in these attachments. So then we could say that Saint Germain, yes, he is the master of violet, and that equates to the emotions of transmutation and transformation. Kind of cool. You can also go to things in your body and see that when Saint Germain is present, that he will actually be the antidote or the healing energy for very precise things in a physical body. And he's very helpful for the things that are the same resonance as the frequency of violet. Think of ascension or enlightenment as learning to master the frequency of red, the frequency of orange, yellow, green, and so forth, till you complete the rainbow. When you complete the rainbow, you get a graduate degree or enlightened master with a degree in white light. Then you may go on to graduate school and learning all about violet, for example, and making that your mastery. And so it is with angels and masters. Colors and notes also correlate to astrological signs. So you can see how medical astrology works. When someone is tuned to a certain note correlating to a color and a sign, they have a tendency to have certain illnesses, and therefore certain frequencies and colors will be very healing and enable them to maintain health. The chart that lists The correlations is in your packet. But real quick, I've got it right here, so I'm going to read it. Here we go. Orange, D, Gemini. Orange, yellow, D sharp, Cancer. Yellow, E, Leo. Yellow, green, F, Virgo. Green, F sharp, Libra. Green, blue, G, Scorpio. Blue, G sharp, Sagittarius. Blue violet, A, Capricorn. Violet, A sharp, Aquarius. Violet red, B, Pisces. Red, C, Aries. Orange red, C sharp, Taurus. And recall and remember what your note probably is. I say probably because sometimes the soul comes to learn numerous lessons. Sometimes they learn 2 lessons at once, and sometimes you spend a life mastering one frequency, note, emotion, mastery, health, and then once you've learned what you planned on, you switch to another note. That happened to me. Born on A, and my whole life shifted midlife. Friends, job, everything. And I transitioned into G sharp. I'm glad, because if I had learned my lessons on A, perhaps I would have passed if I didn't have another set of lessons planned. Another clue to what your fundamental note would be what's your favorite color? You can also try a technique where you oh, 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 oh. There's going to be one note as you go up and down that's going to be a little bit louder than the rest. This is because that's your primary resonance, your primary note. And so when you sing it, it's going to echo back and forth with your body, making it a little bit louder. That's another way to test what is your frequency. Then once you hum, what note you seem to be loudest when you took your voice and made it glide up and down like I did. Then you can get online and get a free chromatic musical instrumental tuner, and just see what note it is. So there's 3 ways to figure out your fundamental note. Notice your favorite colors, try the singing exercise, and use the chart and see what is your probable color based on your astrological sign. Okay, and that's important because I find that I resonate and am attracted to angels and masters that are either my note, my primary note, or the complementary color. I'm attracted to the Tibetan and Sri Swamiji Sakananda Ganapathy, orange, to Dalai Lama, orange, and also the blues, Mother Mary, Metatron. He's got a lot of white though, clear white plus but blue. Mother Mary. Anyway, there's many blue masters. Archangel Michael, and their very frequencies helps me on my definite and specific path.